I'm legally insane. And my wife left me because I spent all of our money on retro video games. I didn't pay the friggin' car payment. Car payments due every month. I did not pay the payment because I spent all of the money on retro video games.
Huh?
Repo man came, took the car away, wife took the kids, wife left. So, I think I know a thing or two about retro video games. In fact, I think I'm the greatest expert on the subject of retro video games on all of YouTube. How many other creators do you know that spent all of their money on retro video games? How many of those guys had their wife leave them and take the kids? How many of those guys had their car repossessed? I got the live footage to prove it, buddy.
You see this guy right here? He's late on his payments. Hey, you! Get out of here! That's my car!
What?
Give me that
Is
car!
this a carjacking?
No, you're lucky it's not a carjacking. That car is mine.
Well, recently I picked up 17 OG Xbox retro games. I'm still collecting for the OG Xbox. It's 2024 and I'm still collecting because the console is very underrated and I'm still finding very unique games that I otherwise did not know existed. And it's a fun journey. My OG Xbox collection overall is relatively small, but I do have all of the games that I need except for one. I can only think of one offhand at least that I still need, which is Otogi number 1. A lot of these are loose disc only, but we're going to go through the whole list. I'm going to tell you what I got, what I paid, why you might want to pick up some of these games too. Start off with the first one, the best game in the entire pile here, and also one of the biggest hidden gems and most underrated games on the entire OG Xbox. Xbox exclusive. You're not going to find this on your PS2, your 360, or your PS3, or your GameCube. Dungeons & Dragons Heroes. Published by Atari. And shockingly, this one's fairly cheap. Shockingly, it's fairly cheap. Price chart's around 20 bucks Canadian. I paid $12. Oh yeah, it's got a nice thick manual too. You're not going to get that nowadays. They don't even make manuals nowadays, but this is a nice thick boy. Very, very thick manual. You're not going to be able to just see exactly how thick that is. This is the way manuals should be. And mind you, this is a Dungeons & Dragons game, and it literally follows the classic D&D stats, classic D&D spells, abilities, races, classes, dwarven cleric, that sort of thing. You get 4 characters: fighter, wizard, cleric, and rogue, and they all have a large list of unique spells and abilities. So I just want to show you that. That's partly why the manual is so thick. It does tell you about the stats. Like, I was wondering what charisma did, because that's one of the stats. And charisma, if you have high charisma, you can get more skills per level up, because this is basically our RPG, action RPG sort of. This right here is what happens when Dark Alliance does the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance with Gauntlet Legends. Arguably better than both of them. But let me tell you something. Don't go into this as a single player experience. It is designed to be played multiplayer, 2 to 4 players. And yes, it's even better with 3 or 4 than it is with 2. And guess what? There's replayability too, because it's a relatively short game. That's one of the catches. It's simple, short, stupid fun. Because one of the things that got bashed for, they're like, oh, it's not, doesn't have a good story. There's nothing, nothing unique about it other than being a mindless, fun hack and slash. Well, yeah, that's why it's a good game. That's why it's an underrated gem. That's why it became a hidden gem. In fact, I didn't know this game existed back in the day. If I had known about the game, I would have bought it. So review-wise, it got average scores. GameSpot gave it a 6.6 out of 10. Compared it to the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance series. But GameSpy had the best quote here. They said, Heroes wasn't a terribly deep or rich experience, but for mindless arcade hacking, it was a pretty good choice for Xbox owners. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is, but it's underrated as hell. There's tons of spells, tons of abilities, and if you beat it on hard mode, you unlock a nightmare mode. So start on normal mode. You can beat the game 3 times to get your money's worth. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Next up, we got Whiplash. What a gem this is. I didn't even know about this. And you can get this on your PS2. Oh, by the way, these are 360 backwards compatible. That's important nowadays. A lot of people do not have Xboxes. My OG Xbox actually broke. The laser, I guess, the disc reader just stopped working. It's sad. It's sad, but that's what's going to happen eventually to all of the old Xboxes. So I have found that it's getting very hard to find a working OG Xbox. It's a lot easier to find a working 360 Slim. Way easier, and they're cheaper too, I bet. A lot cheaper. So Whiplash is an action platformer game that's meant to be funny. It's a real unique game that, once again, I've never heard anybody mention it. I've never heard anybody talk about it. It's not a 10 out of 10 game, but it is fun and underrated. And yeah, it can get a little bit difficult because there's a confusing map system. You know, they got this like Metroid Prime, Metroidvania style map. You're going to be backtracking a lot. That part can get annoying. But if you take that out of the equation, it's dumb, stupid fun. You're these two animals. You're chained together, and you're trying to escape this animal testing facility. And on your way out, you're trying to destroy the facility and bankrupt the company because these guys are testing on animals. These are like evil corporation people doing some twisted experiments, right? They're torturing animals in there, and you're going to torture this bunny, which is part of the humor. Okay, I don't even want to give it away. I'm just going to let you know that's part of the humor. He's going to take some PETA. I'm surprised PETA. The only reason PETA didn't come after these guys is because they're trying to get the message across that animal testing is bad, and maybe they did it on purpose because like, hey man, we gotta like make a change the storyline here because otherwise PETA's going to try and shut this game down. Game was made by Crystal Dynamics. Can you see that? Developed by Crystal Dynamics, and they make good games. They have a history making good games, so I'm not making this up. This is my proof that I mean business here. Okay? Underrated gem, ain't nobody on the planet talking about it. As a matter of fact, in case you're curious, let's pull up the chart real quick. Chart had a big tear around that 2020 era. Oh yeah, it's just about doubled in price. And it's just kind of flatlined. Has heavy support around that $15 US mark. Currently trading for about 21.75 Canadian CIB. Forget what I paid, but I know it was cheap. Crystal Dynamics made this. They made Pandemonium for the PlayStation 1, which is one of the better games on the entire PS1. They have experience with action-based platformers. They also made Blood Omen Soul Reaver. That was a popular game. The Gex series, that little lizard guy, they're the ones that made that game too. Like, they know what they're doing. Check this one out. It's cheap. It's cheap and fun. Well, yeah, and if you get lost because or something happens, like, you get stuck, just look up a guide. We have the internet nowadays. It's so easily accessible. Go on GameFAQ. Next up, I also picked up Final Fight Streetwise, Capcom game. I'm very happy with this purchase, and I know some of you guys are laughing or thinking, holy hell, why did you buy that hot garbage? This game sucks. Well, whether the game sucks or not is in the eye of the beholder, because a lot of people like this game. Now, 99% of those people will tell you, yeah, I'd rather play Final Fight 2, 1, 2, or 3. Because this particular game is nothing like the original Final Fights. And this is not a review video, but just saying it's very different in case you weren't aware, and it gets heavily bashed. But let me use an example. I'm going to use an example. Let me pull up an example. This here is GameFAQ. These are OG reviews going back to 2006 when this game came out. 2006. A little bit of a late release, by the way. We're talking to OG Xbox here. When did 360 come out? Right? Late release for an Xbox 360 title. And you'll see mixed reviews. Couple of 8s up here. Don't believe the negative hype. 2006. Some people like this game. It has redeeming qualities. The Final Fight series returns for better or worse. ... I like that one. Addictive beat 'em up with potential. Yeah, a lot of people will tell you, hey, it had so much potential and they just failed at capitalizing. That's probably accurate. One hell of a great rental for a night. Hey, that's probably accurate. Hell, you can beat the whole game in one day. Pretty tough and nice beat 'em up. Yeah, the bosses can be pretty tough. Otherwise, it's actually not that hard. You can get guns in this game. Very different 3D style beat 'em up. You do side quests. You do mini games. Fun and rather underrated sequel. And let's look up 43 on Metacritic. Let's look this one up real quick. A rating of only 30 out of 100 from PSX Extreme, GameSpot 33, GamePro 70. Official PlayStation 2 Magazine UK gave it a 50. A lot of mixed reviews here. Cheat Code Central says, if there's any good reason to purchase, rent, or even borrow this game, I haven't found it. He may be right, okay? He may be right. Admittedly, though, the chart looks good. I mean, it's been growing in popularity, and you used to be able to get this for $4 US. This is US dollars on this chart, Canadian dollars down here. Back in 2016, you could have got this for a $4 CIB. And today, switch back to USD, you're paying $30. And not long ago, you were paying about $40. Sold listings seem to be averaging close to about $30 right now. 29, basically 30, 33, 29, 25, 29, 33, 33, 43, 33, 33, 52.95. Holy hell, who the hell bought that one? Is that US dollars? Dang. Must have been good condition at least. $40. Not a cheap game. Heavy support. This is a support line at roughly, 28. Round up $30. So heavy support at $30. We could draw a straight line under there. It's bounced off that support line multiple times, meaning it has a lot of support at that price. It ain't going under 30 anytime soon, buddy. But I'm mentioning this because the game is perhaps slowly gaining a cult following. That's why I think this is a little bit unique. And I always wanted this game. I've wanted it for 20 years now. And I'll be the first to tell you, when the game first came out, guess what? I was one of the people that was heavily disappointed. And I vividly remember having a conversation with a friend of mine. And we were both talking about this game, and we were shocked that Capcom had decided to try and make this a weird 3D beat 'em up that wasn't two-player co-op campaign. There's an arcade mode with two-player, but no co-op on the campaign, I think, hurt their sales. Because me and my friend both said, no, we're not going to buy that game. No co-op on the campaign, I'm not interested. And I think that was a big lost opportunity for them. Yeah, the arcade mode is still a little bit fun, but you have to beat single player just to even unlock all of the arcade levels. And it's not the same. It's not the same. I paid $28 for this Canadian. $28 Canadian. So I paid up, I paid a good amount of money for that. What's it price chart for in Canadian? $41.66 Canadian. So I still got a good deal. So I'm very excited about Final Fight, Whiplash, and Dungeons and Dragons. The three These are the 3 best games that I picked up. I'm keeping all of those, of course. Next up, I'm just going to go through all these loose discs. I got Blood Omen and Blinks. $2.50 each. $5 in total. $5 loose disc. Blood Omen alone price charts for $13.79 Canadian. I paid $2.50 Canadian. $2.50. Price is trending up. Has no sign of stopping since 2019. Slow and steady. This is CIB. This chart here is CIB. This is the Xbox version. PS2 version sells for a little bit more. Also got Blinks, OG Xbox. Slow and steady riser, nothing special. I don't know much about Blinks, but a price charts for $12.90 and I paid $2.50. Okay, that's what I know. That's what I know. Does anything else even matter? So then I picked up 12 games on top of that. 12 loose disc games. And I paid, what did I pay? I'll show you the spreadsheet in a minute. I paid $8 for all 12 because other people bidding are a bunch of retards. I'm the only one that understands that these games have value, even if they're loose disc. I'll just show you I did get a second copy of Blinks. Remember, $8 Canadian. Blinks price charts for $12.90. I got Bard's Tale. I don't know much about this game either, but it price charts for about $9.79. Here's a frickin' monster gem. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger #3. Oh, and these are all like good condition too. I checked all of them. They're all good condition. This one was really high on the price charting. I remember that. This was one of the more expensive ones. Yeah, Canadian dollars, you're looking at 18 roughly. This is rough. Price charting is not super accurate. It doesn't mean that you can get $18 for it. But you know it's not going to go $5 when it's price charting for 18 loose. Right? Oh, here's a frickin' gem. Here's one of the best games on the entire console. I've talked about this before. I have it CIB. Dreamfall, the most underrated. This is a PC port. The Longest Journey. PC port had poor sales on the Xbox. Partly due to piracy is what I read. Something about piracy going on. Maybe it was related to the PC version. I'm not sure. PC version had good sales though, but they were heavily disappointed with the Xbox sales. It's an adventure game. A puzzle adventure game. Very good story. Some beat 'em up aspects to the game. They mix up the gameplay here and there. Very, very underrated. I'm shocked more people don't talk about it. They do have a sequel and a prequel. A prequel that I think was on PC only. I never played the prequel, but I've had people recommend it, and I've had people suggest getting the sequel as well. But the sequel's on PS4, I think, and Xbox One probably. And I don't have any of those, so I cannot play the sequel. And you know, I'm okay with that. I got Dreamfall OG Xbox. That's really all I need. Here's one called SRS. What is this? Street Racing Syndicate. That's right. That one doesn't price chart for much. I think it's, I wrote it down, $8.69. Fly through these other ones a little bit quicker. Actually, let's go back to Dreamfall. Here's Dreamfall. I wanted to show this one because once again, I paid $8 for the entire lot. Dreamfall price charts for $16.30. I got this. This is a really interesting one. I don't know if it's a Ridge Racer game or not. It's called R Racing Evolution. I know nothing about it, but it's Namco. So I assumed SRS is also Namco. I just assumed this is a Ridge Racer game, but I don't know. Racing games are not my strength. I got Ghost Recon. I don't care for this one. Probably does not praise chart for much. ESPN basketball was surprisingly worth a decent amount. I'll show you the chart on that because this one's kind of funny. Okay, here's the chart for ESPN basketball 2004. And I thought it was kind of funny because I don't think it doesn't sell very often. But it used to be $3 USD, and now it's tripled to close to $9. Who the hell is buying this game? Why would anybody buy this game to begin with? That's all I'm saying. That's all I want to know. Man, look at these sold listings. Like this guy here sold his for $1.70, and since then it's now selling $13.60 Canadian. Canadian dollars down here. Yeah, look at this. $6 all day. $6, $6, 2019. Yeah, this thing never sells. $6 all day, $2, $3. People are giving this thing away. They're paying more in eBay fees and shipping than they are getting the game. They're just giving it away for free. Then all of a sudden, 2 people on the same day bought the game, drove the price up. Because ain't nobody buying the game. That's what happened here. Sale date 2024. 2 sales on March 12th. Oh yeah, and then 1 in February. So a YouTuber must have mentioned this game or something. Some famous YouTuber played it, and it was, I guess, maybe it's a good basketball game. I don't know. Here's an interesting one. This is True Crime, but it came with a bonus disc. One of these is a bonus disc. What's the bonus? Yeah, this one. Look at this. Bonus DVD. So I think this is the collector edition, which is worth more money. I looked up the collector edition. This thing's, nice and slow and steady, nothing major. But you know why I like to point these out, these slow and steady games? True Crime is not a rare game. Even though this is the, collector edition with the bonus disc. $14.26 for just the disc only. But these games, the reason why we love the hobby of collecting retro games so much is that our games do appreciate in value. It's not a hobby where you just piss away your money and everything that you bought goes to zero. You get to enjoy the games, you get to play the games, and you get to watch your games, or at least some of your games, appreciate in value at the same time, which makes you feel good. And you can, in the back of your mind that if you ever wanted to sell it, you can get your money back, you can make a profit, or at least get, some of your money back. Maybe you're not making a profit, but your stuff isn't worthless, right? This isn't a VHS tape going for 25 cents. This isn't a DVD that a pawn shop's going to give you 25 cents because the pawn shop's going to sell it for $1, right? This is a good, popular hobby for that reason. Also got Rainbow Six. $8 the whole lot. And Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. So guys, I have not given up on collecting OG Xbox. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to over 9,000 subscribers. And I'm trying to get to over 3,000 by the end of this year. I'd like to prove to the wife that left me that this game right here was worth it. Give this one a shot. The Repo Man took my car because of this game. Dungeons and Dragons Hero. The Repo Man took my car. I'm willing to give up my car for this game. So it's good. I ain't playing around here. It's good. But remember, don't be playing it on single player. Don't play it on single player. Get two, 3, or 4 friends together. Your kids can play this game too. It's not difficult. It's very simple. Your wife can play it. Your sister can play it. Your kids can play it. You can play it with that one retarded friend that you have. Everybody's got that one retarded friend. He's really dumb. He can barely hold a controller. He's got an IQ of like 49. Well, invite him over. You're always trying to avoid that guy. Right? He wants to hang out with you. You're always trying to avoid him because he's dumb. Invite him over. Get some A&W root beer. Order a pizza. Order delivery. Get it delivery. Old school 90s delivery. Get the delivery driver to come. Order the pizza to your house. Sit down. Play this game.